Hey, welcome to the Black Spinner Circle Music vidcast with me, Al Horta, my esteemed co-host, Andy Rodriguez. What's up, brother?
Hey guys, what's going on? It's going on right now. What is happening tonight?
I don't know. I haven't been on in a few weeks, so you tell me.
I'm pretty sure you know how to do this.
um, no, last week I had the old colonoscopy test done, so it was like, Andy, I'm not really up to doing it tonight. Just you take over. But I'm good. I'm glad to say that I'm very clean. Everything is good. So that's yeah, two thumbs up on that.
Great, great.
I think the week before, what was the week before? I think I was away or something, or I had something to do. I don't remember, but I couldn't be on the week before. So it's been like 3 weeks I haven't been on.
Oh,
So
okay.
so yeah, so I'm glad to have Joseph Staub on tonight. What's up,
Yeah.
bro?
Happy to be on as always. I was excited. I was saying to Andy before we got started, any chance to revisit these albums, I will always jump at that chance.
Yeah, man. Um, yeah, we're doing well, let me introduce what we're doing. So we're doing, since it's the beginning of the March here. Last year we did a 3 album throwdown by 3 bands that was their third albums, and they were all trios, which Celtic Frost, Motorhead, and Raven. So this week, this year, this month, we're doing Destruction, Sodom, and Coroner, their third albums. Now I screwed up a little bit here because on this third album of Destruction, they expanded into a 4 piece, so they're no longer a trio. But I'm gonna let that go because they began as a trio. Their first 2 albums, they were a trio. So I was trying to get the number 3, third month power trios, third albums. But it's a little technicality, but it's not that big a deal. So, but these 3 albums are like premier thrash albums of European thrash. Let me just tell you, these fucking 3 albums are awesome. Destruction's Release from Agony from 1987, Sodom's Agent Orange from 1989, and Corner's Would Die by My Hand
Uh,
from
No
also
more
no more
color.
color.
No more color.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, you're right. That's from 1989. So, um, yeah, so 2 albums from '89, one from '87. Destruction and Sodom, both from Germany, premier German thrash metal bands, and Corner's a Swiss band, so also a great thrash band from back in the day. We always look to the big four as like, and a little bit beyond that, but there's so much great thrash like even beyond that, man. That like a lot of people never really discovered. Truth be told, I didn't really know the Destruction and the Coroner albums. So Agent Orange by Sodom, I knew very well because the bass player in my band that I used to be in was a huge Sodom fan, and he actually introduced me to them. And I already know that's a great album. And going up against these 2 other albums, it was actually kind of hard. They're all 3 great thrash, European thrash albums. Um, so, uh, so that's our thing for today, man. So, um, yeah, both Destruction and Sodom were formed in '82. I think Corner was a little bit after that, but
Yeah,
yeah, by the mid '80s, they were full on, going. So, um, yeah, and this is their third albums. Now, uh, the difference I find between these albums and like the albums by the Big Four, like around the same time period, by the time the Big Four, like '86, '87, their albums started becoming pretty polished already. I'm not saying that they were like slick or anything like that. I mean, I wouldn't call Master of Puppets a slick album. It's produced very well and it still has a raw feeling to it, but it was compared to a lot of the other stuff, it was very polished already. This band was already, a well-oiled, like professional machine. Same thing with Slayer. I mean, you can look at Rain and Blood. It's very, you can call that in the midst of an extreme album, it's pretty polished. With Rick Rubin coming in producing it, they're getting a more of a bigger label push, more money into it, things like that. Going to these albums, though, it still retains kind of that raw, kind of early '80s thrash sound and feeling, in my opinion. Which was
especially
great.
the Destruction album.
Yeah, the Destruction album, very raw
Yeah,
sounding. So, I think out of all the 3 E's albums, the Sodom one is probably the most produced,
Yeah.
kind of, well produced pop. And I love production, but sometimes rawness works for this kind of music as well. So it's a perfect match, I think, of the two. You know what I mean? So anyway, Andy, like, you want to do what's spinning?
Oh yeah, we have a segment here called "What's Spinning," where we share what we've been listening to and what we've bought. So go ahead, Joe. What's been spinning for you, brother?
Yeah, I mean, I know I talked about him last week, but I'm still on my Marillion high horse right now, man. I'm riding it. And the CDs I've been getting lately have been barely leaving my car. I
You've
showed
been
off
getting
some of the,
you've been getting the deluxe editions, right?
yep, the box sets. Yep,
Hey, how much have they been running you? Are they been good price
they've
or?
been they've been kind of up and down. So on Amazon, I noticed the prices have been kind of going up and going down. I actually when I got so the most recent one that they put out was the Strange Engine box set, and
Okay,
this one is about like $35, and it's um
that's a bargain for what you get in that,
oh
man.
yeah, 4 CDs and a Blu-ray plus it's the
Yeah,
book and everything and all that. And then the same for the Script for Gestures Tier one was about $35. Um,
I need to
and
pick some of those
same
up,
thing. It had,
man.
oh, they're great. They're fantastic. The remixes that they've been doing on these are great. Plus, all of them have the 5.1 surround sound on the Blu-ray, so it's fantastic. And then the one I didn't get a chance to show off yet. The other one that I did show off last week was the Afraid of Sunlight box set. I love that they did the alternate cover here with the Dayglow Jesus.
That's
Um,
cool, man. Yeah,
Yeah, that was awesome.
but yeah, I love these. The one I got in the mail after we did the show last week was the coup de grace, in my opinion, Clutching at Straws. Um, this one I paid a little bit more for because it is my favorite Marillion album. So I went out. I paid about $50 for this one. But all these have been gift cards that I had for Christmas. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm spending all of it. Um,
yeah.
and like it comes with the remix of Clutching at Straws is fantastic. The album sounds so good. Plus
Did
it
Stephen
has
Wilson
a
do any of
full.
those?
So he did
Did
the
Stephen
one
Wilson?
for he did Brave, and he
Okay,
did Misplaced Child, and he did Misplaced Childhood.
okay.
Um,
Those are two
I
great
didn't.
albums.
I have. So they put his remix of Brave out on like a one disc, just the CD. I have that, so I didn't buy
Okay,
that box set yet because I already have his remix. But I think so. What they did with the Misplaced Childhood set, which I'm planning on getting that one next, is there's two different remixes. The one that's on the CD is just I think the original producer went back and remixed, but then the Stephen Wilson remix is on the Blu-ray.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so um, with this
That's good
one,
stuff, man.
I'm not sure. What'd you say?
No, I'm just saying that's good stuff, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I mean, the Clutching at Straws one is fantastic. The remix is great. All these have like live CDs with them too, so it's like full concerts and stuff in the box sets.
That's cool.
And then also for each one of these, they made a documentary about each album. So like going through, they actually got the entire band together in a bar in like 2018, including Fish, to sit
Wow.
down and talk about Clutching at Straws. And it's really
Oh, that's
interesting
cool.
hearing like, all five of them sitting there. And I think it was, oh geez, I can't remember who. I think it was Mick Wall from Kerrang that did
Yeah.
did the interview. And so
Okay.
they're sitting there. There's clips of them just individually talking as well, and he's asking them questions and stuff. But it's just really fascinating to hear them talk about the making of this album because I mean, this is the album that caused Fish to leave the band. So it was really interesting him being there with them because you can tell it's still like just like his aura even in 2018. Them sitting next to him, they're kind of all just kind of like sitting there with their hands in their pockets, and he's just there being Fish, and
Yeah.
it's just really cool to see. But I've really, if you're a Marillion fan, these things are 100% worth it just because of all the stuff they include.
I need to pick up. I've been meaning to pick some of them up, man. I haven't gotten any of them. I'm gonna try to get all the Fish ones first, and then
Yeah,
I really would like to get the Brave one though, because that's probably my favorite H album. You know.
So with the Brave set, what they did with that one, so a couple of the ones, because I think Brave and I think Afraid of Sunlight were the two that the remix was vastly different from the original album. And so they include the original album as well. So you get
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
They did Brave. So what they included with Brave was it's the remix, the Stephen Wilson remix, the original album plus a full concert from that tour, which it's actually the same concert that was on the Made Again live album.
Okay.
It's that performance of Brave plus all the encores and stuff, and then a Blu-ray with everything on it and the documentary and all that stuff. Which I think that one I think I saw that one on Amazon was like around $40, which for everything you get, that's not bad at all.
No, it's not. I like these sets are that. Sometimes I wish like Rush would be doing the sets like this and
I
make them
know.
more affordable. But they're making these big. I really want to get the Grace Under Pressure box, but it's just so expensive, man.
Hundreds of dollars, dude. That's crazy. When you do something like for fans like that, dude, that's all you need.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Because and the sad part is, it's honestly the same amount of stuff included in these sets, pretty much. I mean, I think because with the Rush, do you even get a vinyl with that one or not?
Yes.
Okay, so
I think. Yeah, I believe you get the vinyl. Yeah, I think you can get vinyl too. Yeah, but I don't really, those deluxe sets, man. I don't really care about the vinyl, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah.
I just, because I don't need all the extras on like fucking 8 vinyls and shit like that, dude. So
it loses its panache when they do that. It loses its aura when you're listening to it on CD. You have to flip it, and flip it.
Yeah. The original albums, I'm fine, but
yeah.
So,
but I will say, Alice, getting the Fish albums, I think the only one that Amazon doesn't sell is the Fugazi set. But you can actually get that right through Rhino on their website. They sell it and it's like $35 on Rhino's website. I just ordered it from there. I'm actually waiting. It's coming in the mail sometime this week, I think. And the other kind of cool thing is that any of the albums that had like a home video associated with them, the home video is included on the Blu-ray. So it has like the video, like the Script for a Jester's Tear one has like a full concert from that tour, both audio and video.
Yeah.
And then same thing with the thing I really loved about the Strange Engines one is they got a hold of some fan filmed one of the concerts in like the Netherlands or something like that. It was at the end of the tour. And so it was a bootleg video from like the balcony of this club.
Yeah.
And they matched up their soundboard audio to it.
Yeah.
So they put the bootleg video with their soundboard audio on the.
Well, that's cool, man. Yeah.
And it was really cool because it was like the last night of the tour, so Steve Hogarth's voice was like blown out, and so it basically the entire concert is just him sitting there with the microphone held out to the audience.
Oh wow!
And the audience just the whole thing, and he's just standing up there dancing around, and he had the keytar that was in the shape of a cricket bat. And it had all the different buttons with all the different sound effects and stuff on it. And he's just up there playing it and holding the microphone out to the audience. And it was a really cool video. But what I think is really cool is that they put out all of their albums that were on EMI. That was what they put out first. So these are all through Parlophone, I think, was what these are. And then now they're starting to put out the ones after they left EMI through their own label. And they kept the packaging the same and everything. So they kind of kept it consistent with.
Yeah, so it can match up, when you have them on the shelf.
I think they're putting out Marillion.com is coming out next month or that.
Okay.
The deluxe set, but yeah. So I've been deep in Marillion, and the other thing I've been listening to a little bit is a couple Nazareth albums. I've been pulling out. They just started their tour with their new singer, and I saw a couple clips of that, and so I've been really going back and listening to a lot of Nazareth albums lately. Got Loud and Proud and Ram. I've been listening to.
Nice. Very cool, man. Yeah, dude, I got to delve into one of those Marillion box sets, man. Try it out. Oh, I love the Jethro Tull sets. So it's the same kind of concept.
Modeled after the Jethro Tull sets.
Yeah. So All right, cool. Andy, what about you, brother?
Yeah, what I've been spending, I got this one last week. I was on the BS session. No, I was on Freeform Rock Podcast on Friday. On Sunday, but it's not out yet. But we were doing the new Creator Crushes of the World. I loved it so much I had to get it on vinyl.
Oh, cool, man.
And it's really good, dude. I freaking love this thing. And this came out in January, and it's on red vinyl, which is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
And it's not that flimsy kind of vinyl. Even though it's color, it's a thick 180 red, so it's pretty cool. I like that.
Nice.
I know that's kind of new for me, but it's really good. Also, sometimes when I'm on Facebook, I see people post things, and I say, you know what? I haven't heard that album in a while. Bayou Country by CCR. I haven't heard that in a while. And I found that, and I realized it was kind of weak compared to their debut album, and then Green River, their third one, compared to it. I was just telling Joe right before he came on now that this album finally resonated with me. I finally caught on. UFO Lights Out.
Oh yeah, man.
It took me a couple of spins to really get into it, but man, it's completely different from what I thought UFO is. There's a lot of changes in this album. It's really good. I liked it.
Yeah. That's probably their most, I would say, if they had the most popular studio album, I think that would probably be the one. You know, I think Lights Out was about as close as a hit as they came.
Right.
In America. I mean, it's not really a hit, but it's probably the most well-known song. You know, was Lights Out.
That's the only one I really ever heard.
Yeah.
On the radio to begin with.
Yeah. So, besides Strangers in the Night, which is probably the most popular one, you know. Yeah. But I think studio album-wise, Lights Out's probably the most popular one, you know. So.
Yeah, because I got a couple of their early '80s, and it was just okay, you know. It didn't really catch on with me. I had posted this on the Apple Music messenger group that we're a part of. Chase, Pure Magic. This is such a good album. It's a really good pop jazz fusion.
Okay. What's the name of it?
Chase.
Okay.
Chase, the name of the band. Pure Magic. They only made 3 albums, and then the leader passed away not too long after this, and they had to disband.
Oh, gotcha.
But I found this one, and I felt lucky because I'd never seen it before. And like a month later, dude, I found their first and second put on a double album as a compilation. I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. So I was able to get all 3, and this one. This is always talked about because of the song "I Want You to Want Me" original version, but I really like In Color. This is a really
love In Color, man.
Great fantastic album.
It rocks hard, but no one mentions it. They just mention about the acoustic version of "I Want You to Want Me." But dude, this album rocks hard, dude.
Well, yeah. Besides that song, I mean, the rest of the album is is so good.
Yeah,
you know?
I was very surprised because I hadn't heard it in a while. Because I would flip through my albums, and I'm like, no. I kept on skipping it, and I finally threw it on. It's something I hadn't done in years, and I enjoyed it. What I'm going through right now is I'm going through each section and picking out things that stick out to me. That's why there were a lot of C's on my what's spinning. You know, we had Chase and CCR and stuff like that. But UFO, it kind of got pulled out because someone had mentioned it somewhere on Facebook. I said, you know what? Let me give it a spin. So,
and you already had it, or you went out and you grabbed it?
Oh no! I had already had it for a while now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's one that I just put away. But then I finally threw it on because I was hearing it in the car. I said, you know what? I'm going to throw it on vinyl, and it sounds great.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's been spinning with me.
All right. Well, with me, me, man, I'm always hitting up the thrift stores and all that. So I'll show you some stuff. I actually got some stuff today because between the end of my work and the meeting, the work meeting doesn't usually start until like 6:30, the dinner. So from between like 3 o'clock to 6:30, I'm just kind of meandering around like near my job. And I'm like, well, let me hit up some thrift stores, man. So I went to a couple of them. There was one. I found a bunch of cassettes actually at this one,
Awesome.
real cheap. It's a Debbie Harry solo album. I mean, these cassettes were probably like 50 cents. So, and it's called Cuckoo or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I never heard of it. But I saw it and I'm like, why not? Because I like Blondie. Gary Moore still got the blues.
Oh,
I
that's
found
cool.
That's I have this on CD already, but for cheap, I was like, let me get the cassette.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Billy Squire, it's Emotions in Motion, right? Yeah.
Emotions in Motion. Yep.
Emotions in Motion.
I like that album too.
Alan
There's some good
Parsons
stuff on
Project,
that album.
Alan Parsons Project, Vulture Culture.
Mm.
I saw this on cassette, so
Good
I
album.
think it's like a mid '80s album by him.
Oh yeah, that's like 84,
Yeah, that was like 85.
Yeah,
85.
I
Yeah.
got on vinyl.
Roy Orbison, Mystery Girl. I always liked that song, that hit song that he had in the late '80s.
You got it.
You got it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
That was kind of a resurgence for him. It was always getting played on the radio and stuff. I remember my brother having this on cassette, but I mean, I guess he had long lost it for a long time. I didn't inherit it, but the Car's greatest hits.
Mm.
So I always remember him. I always remember him having that. And We Are the World.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. I used to have that on vinyl, and I don't have it anymore.
I actually have it on vinyl too, but and then CD wise, this is the first decline of the Western civilization, the punk one, the very first one. The CD's not that easy to find, and I found this in one of the thrift bins. So
what is it again?
The Decline of the Western Civilization. It's the first one.
Oh, wow, the soundtrack or what?
It's Black Flag, Circle Jerks, X, Fear. It's all the punk bands that are in this documentary.
Yeah, that's right. That was the first one.
This is the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this actually, the CD is not that easy to find actually.
No, it's not.
And I saw it and I'm like, holy shit, I gotta grab that, man.
Part 2 was the 80s metal.
The metal
but the
years.
first one was the punk one.
The
Dude,
first
that's
one was
an
the
awesome
punk one.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously a lot of people have this one, Midnight Madness by Night Ranger.
Yeah.
I actually didn't have this on CD. I only had it on vinyl and cassette. Mother's Milk by Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think this is their best album, this one. I'm not big on Red Hot Chili Peppers post Blood Sugar Sex Magic. For me, that was it. After that, I do kind of like the Navarro album a little bit, but this one and earlier Chili Peppers is my favorite. But this one's probably the best one, man.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I was in the car on Sunday with my dad, and my dad hates the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like, he despises the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He hates most '90s music in general, but he really hates the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And Higher Ground came on, and I was jamming. He's like, "Well, I like this song." And I'm like, "Yeah, because that was when they were good."
Yeah, that's when they were good. Yeah, exactly. I really don't like the later Chili Peppers at all, man. Beginnings by the Allman Brothers, man. I have this on vinyl, but this is their first two albums on one CD, so I got that.
That's so good. I like that too. Beginnings.
Moody Blues on the Threshold of a Dream. This is kind of interesting. This one, it's just in a cardboard. I think it's like a promotional one because it's just in like a cardboard sleeve. So there's that one. This is kind of cool. Fretboard Frenzy. It's a Shrapnel Records compilation. Shrapnel Records was all the shredders in the '80s were on this label. So this has got Cacophony. It's got Greg Howe, Jason Becker, Racer X, Marty Friedman, Racer X, Joey Tafola. So it's all those '80s shredders that are on Shrapnel Records. It's kind of a compilation of it. This is kind of cool. Like buying guitar magazines in the '80s, I always read about Shrapnel Records. They always were promoted in those in those magazines. Yeah. The last two is a band called New England. I found their first album on CD. It's kind of not easy to find either. New England, now two members went on to go into Alcatraz later when Yngwie and Graham Bonnet. So they were on Casablanca Records with Kiss, and I think they only had like 2 or 3 albums, but then they kind of dissolved. But I think 2 of the members ended up being in a band with Vinnie Vincent before Vinnie Vincent joined Kiss. There was a band, and then that kind of Vinnie Vincent went to Kiss, and that fell apart, and then it became Alcatraz with Yngwie. So that's kind of cool. And then I found this autograph CD. Now this is like their 4th album. This was supposed to be their 4th album. It was never released, and it's called Missing Pieces. So, and they eventually released it in like the late 90s. But I looked it up, man. It's kind of hard to find this CD too. And it's not easy to find it. So it goes for some money. But I found it for $2. So I'm like, there, I'll get it. So, but that's really it, man. I mean, I'm always finding crazy shit in the bins, man.
Yeah, dude, you really are, dude. Dude, I don't have shit like that over here.
That's the one thing in Florida, man. There's a lot of thrift stores, man. I guess because everybody comes down here to retire, so they want to get rid of their shit, So, but anyway, that's what I got, man. So anyway, we'll get to the topic at hand here. It's the triple vinyl album Throwdown between these 3 premier European thrash bands. So again, it's Coroner, Destruction, and Sodom, and we're gonna go track by track, and we'll start with track number 1, Destruction. It's gonna be what's the first one here?
Beyond Eternity.
Beyond Eternity. Man, I wrote, my handwriting is atrocious lately. The second one is Agent Orange, the title track by Sodom. And the third one by Coroner is Die by My Hand. Joe, you want to kick it off, man? I can't hear you. You're silent. He always has trouble with StreamYard.
Okay, I'll go ahead and go.
Is he frozen? Well, he's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I got you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah, so this is kind of like a 2-horse race a little bit here because the Destruction track is just like a short instrumental intro.
Yep.
Which is cool. It's kind of atmospheric, but I mean, the other 2 are just such great ways to open up those albums. I mean, Agent Orange just out of the gate just beats you over the head, just fast pummeling, fantastic solo on it, just shredding. And I agree with what you said, Al. Of these 3 albums, Agent Orange is probably the one that's the most produced. It has the most kind of like, it has the most beefed up production on it, and it sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
And then you get Coroner, which it opens up with Die by My Hand, which it is so cool and different, and it's, I mean, they're coming out here with odd time signatures in a thrash song. Like, what are they doing here? And it's just so cool. And I mean, of these 3, the one that I go back to the most is Coroner. I love Coroner. They're one of my favorite thrash bands. And Die by My Hand is a great example of why, because they're heavy and they're thrash, but yet they bring all this different stuff into it. They bring like progressive elements. They bring all this different like technicality into it. And so for this opening track, I gotta give it to Die by My Hand. Just because it's such a different approach to thrash. And I think they just really, right out of the gate, just do a great job of like saying, yep, here we are. And I absolutely love that track.
Awesome. So you got Die by My Hand by Coroner.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, man. Go ahead, Andy.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go.
Now I remember before Andy goes, I remember when I texted him about this, he's like, "Oh yeah, well, I'll get to listening." And I remember he texted me the other day. He's like, "Dude, these 3 albums are fucking fantastic," So I was like, "Yes, that's awesome that he's getting into it." So go ahead, Andy.
Yeah. So my pick like we were just saying that these albums were just fantastic. And these were the first times that I heard these albums. I want to say hi to Jimmy Schwartz and also to Brian out there. Thanks, thanks for watching with us. I'm going to go with Sodom. I'm going to go with Agent Orange. It starts off right in your face, then it goes into this heavy riff, and it goes to this great little pace. Then boom, just big old thrash just comes out of nowhere, dude. And then it keeps the intensity right there. You know, the problem with thrash of today, they have this really good strong sound, and then they go down and then they slow it down. But dude, these 80s thrash, it's just intensity from beginning to end. So I went with Agent Orange on this one.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The Destruction is just a little intro to the album, so that's to me that's kind of gets thrown out by default. Usually the little instrumentals or intros going up against full songs. And to be fair, I mean, if Destruction had been a 9-track album, I would have probably combined the intro with the first song. But in this case, I mean Sodom, the last track I threw out because it was a cover, so it made it an 8-track album. So, but anyway, out of the 3 bands, yeah, Joseph is correct. To me, Coroner is the most progressive thrash band out of the 3. They have the prog elements in there, the different time signatures and all the technicality. They're the most technical out of the 3. But in this instance, because I mean, the Agent Orange album is I've lived with that for years. These other 2 albums, I kind of just really listened to them for like maybe the first or second time. And man, I loved all 3 of them, but I'm going with Agent Orange on this one. Where it's funny when I was listening to the title track, in the middle of it, it kind of reminded me of a little bit of Angel of Death when they do that breakdown. There's a little guitar breakdown, Angel of Death. They had the kind of the same similar kind of almost guitar break. You know, so it's kind of funny. I was thinking, like, you know, when I was listening to the Sodom album, like, this reminds me a lot of like kind of actually earlier Slayer. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Hell Awaits era Slayer a little bit, you know, but with maybe a little bit of beefier production, but not as raw. But anyway, it still sounds great, you know. And I'm gonna go with Agent Orange on this one.
Dude,
on the first
feeling guitar solo at the end, dude. It's like, dude, these
3 albums are intense, man, intense thrash. Yeah. But there are like cool like elements. They do like these. It's funny. Sodom will slow it down, but it'll still be intense because they'll slow down and then speed up, and it's kind of cool, man. You know, the dynamics that they kind of do within the song. So we'll go to track 2. Destruction, Release from Agony, the title track, versus Sodom's Tired and Red, and Coroner's No Need to Be Human. Joe.
All right. Well, here we get our first kind of real glimpse of what this Destruction album is going to be like. And like we said earlier, it's of the 3, it's the one that has the most. It's the most raw. It has the most kind of like stripped back production, which is funny because I'm much more familiar with the first 2 Destruction albums, Eternal Devastation and Infernal Overkill, and so I know those 2 albums a lot. When they were a trio, and I'm really too familiar with those 2 albums, and it's funny that this album is even a little bit more stripped back than those 2 are. So it's coming into this, I'm like, wow, this is a really raw album, and I love it about it. And Release from Agony is a great track. And then with Coroner, No Need to Be Human is just, it's a little bit more kind of a normal thrash song for them. You know, it's after how progressive Die By My Hand was, this No Need to Be Human kind of steps back and it's just more of a kind of a straight ahead thrash song, and it's fantastic. And then you get Tired and Red from Sodom, which just starts out just beating the ever living shit out of you.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, wait, are those acoustic guitars?
Yeah, acoustic break.
What? And there's an acoustic break, and there's this really cool jam section. Oh, it's a beautiful little acoustic break. Yeah. We're all used to Metallica starts off their songs like that and then beats the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Sodom beats the shit out of you and then does an acoustic break. And then they have this really cool jam section, and then they're back to just pummeling the shit out of you for the rest of the song. And I mean, one of my favorite songs on this album, I have to give it to Tired and Red.
Yeah. Cool, man. Yeah, you're right, man. It's different, but it's awesome. You know, the dynamic they kind of
Oh,
throw in
it's
there in the middle there.
fantastic.
So yeah, go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, dude. I went with Tired and Red. This is exactly what I wrote. The breakdown to the acoustic, quiet, and then it goes into this upbeat, heavy rock rhythm, and then just a great thrash, thrash guitar, and then it bookends exactly the way it started. Just boom, boom, boom. It's just a great track, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
right there, I just knew that this was going to be my pick. Even though the other songs are really good, but just because it has very little lyrics to it. It's the music in the mid section, just amazing, dude. So Tired and Red by Sodom.
I'm gonna make it unanimous, man. Tired and Red as well, man. Fantastic song. Again, like the Sodom album, I was familiar with for years, since probably the '90s. So because I didn't know about this stuff, man. Like in the '80s when I was growing through high school. I mean, it was always like a lot of the big four, and then you had Testament. You had most of
Yeah.
the known, a lot of the German stuff, man. I mean, we didn't have no internet, so it was like unless you read it in a magazine, and an import magazine on top of that, you really didn't know about unless you were into underground tape trading, in the '80s, because that was the big thing. You didn't really know about a lot of these underground bands, until like later on. But unless you had friends that really had the pulse on the underground. I did have a few friends that, I mean, I used to go over to my friend's house, and his older brother used to have all the Merciful Fate and the Death and the Venom and all that kind of stuff. And I got introduced to that through word of mouth. That's really the only way, because you never heard that stuff on the radio. You
No, of
didn't
course
never
not.
saw the videos on MTV. So it was only through word of mouth, and maybe knowing somebody that knew underground shit, that you got introduced to these bands. Now with the internet, you get introduced to everything. You can
Yeah.
find anything you want at the touch of your fingers. It took a lot of work, back in the day, man, growing up and going to high school, and
Oh yeah.
everything was word of mouth, like for the heavier music, man, because you didn't hear this stuff on, mainstream, unless I had the good fortune though of having a great, which still exists to this day, and you two both received things from this college radio station.
Yeah.
But that radio station started in 1986, and on top of like some of the, they played the Metallicas and the Megadeths, but they used to have a show Monday nights called Monday Night Mayhem, and that's where you heard the real dark, like you heard the Venom and you heard the
Oh
Merciful
wow.
Fate, you heard the satanic shit, and it's funny because it was a Catholic college. That was the irony of it, But this stuff was played like after midnight, So, and I used to stay up and tape on cassettes. I used to tape Monday Night Mayhem, and then I used to bring it in my car and listen to it in my car or whatever. So anyway, so I didn't know about these bands until much later on, though. I mean, I may have heard them on these stations, but then it probably just in passing, and I didn't kind of take a mental note of it or anything like that. But it's great to catch up on this stuff now. I love discovering, all the stuff that kind of passed me by like back in the day, and that's
Yeah.
why I love doing these shows with you guys, because you guys always bring this stuff up. So yeah, Tired and Red was my pick. So we're gonna go track 3. Dissatisfied Existence by Destruction, Incest by Sodom, and Read My Scars by Coroner. Joseph.
Yeah, I mean, Dissatisfied Existence has a fantastic solo. There's some really great guitar work on this Destruction album, just some really,
Yeah.
really cool back and forth. And Incest from Sodom, just the breakdown on that song is so epic. But I had to go with Read My Scars on this. Just the riffs and the changes and the solo on this, just absolutely fantastic. This is another example of using that bit of a progressive element and using those kind of different changes and all these different little riffs that they incorporate into a song. I mean, it's kind of a little reminiscent of Merciful Fate, the way that they go from riff to riff to riff, and it feels
Yeah.
just a natural progression. And I think that really just kind of grabbed me in one of my favorite songs on this Coroner album.
Cool. Oh, excellent, man. Andy.
Yeah, dude, I really liked that song, Read My Scars, but dude, I'm gonna have to go with Destruction on this. This
Wow.
Satisfy Existence. It took me a while to get used to the vocals, but once I did, I dug those vocals. First of all, the production is not clean, it's cheap, but dude, it's perfect at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this sounds perfect for this band. And then I really dig the lo-fi soloing and riffing. About maybe a third on the way down. It sounds cheap. It sounds like, what the hell is this? But dude, it sounds awesome, and I absolutely love it. And they did some odd call and response with a guitar solo. You can catch that. It's awesome. And like I was telling Joe, and I think I've told you too, Al, I'm gonna go see Destruction next month.
That's
and I'm
right.
excited, dude. I'm so excited to see them now.
They're playing
After
with
hearing
who? Who
this
are they playing
album-
with?
Huh?
Who are they playing with?
Oh, dude, they're playing with Testament and
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Death Angel? No.
Overkill, wasn't it?
Overkill.
yeah. And I'm
Okay.
not familiar with those two others, so I'm going to be taking this month to really push the boundaries on.
Yeah, you'll have a good thrash night with the.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
with
dude,
them.
I'm looking so forward to it, dude.
Yeah.
Especially,
I hope you get to see Testament pull some stuff off that new album.
yeah, dude, I'm really hoping so because my buddy that's going with me, he really likes that album a lot. So he was excited. I think we've seen Testament once before. Me, and that buddy. But dude, this Destruction album, I really dug it. I think it's great, and I think I'm going to talk more about it later on. But for right now, I'm going to go with Dissatisfied Existence.
Yeah. Piggybacking off of Andy's like kind of description. Yeah, I mean, because listen, by 1987, like I said, like the thrash bands over here in America, the production, they had more money into their albums, and the production was getting more professional and a little more, cleaner and everything like that, man. And over there, it was just like, it kind of kept the spirit of like that dirty kind of earlier 80s thrash when thrash was in its infancy, and it kept up that rawness. And that Destruction album is that I mean, you could have taken that Destruction album and put it in 1983, and it would have fit right there. You know what I mean? So it's exactly like 5 years later, it's still like that good early raw thrash sound. That being said, I am going with Incest by Agent Orange. Again, it might be a little bit of the bias that like I've lived with the Agent Orange album the longest time, and I actually absolutely love the album. And I have the CD. It's buried in a bin somewhere. I just didn't have time to get it out. But I have the deluxe CD actually, because they put out a deluxe CD probably like 10, 15 years ago, And so anyway, I'm gonna go with Incest by Sodom on this one. Read My Scars, man, was great too, though. When I was listening to that, it was. There was a moment in there that actually there was a guitar line in there. Like it got to a point. I think it was like maybe 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes into the song. It also reminded me of Natural Science by Rush, man. It had a little bit of like and maybe they influenced them a little bit or whatever. I don't know. But,
I could believe it.
Yeah, I mean, because they are the more kind of progressive technical thrash band out of the three. So I could kind of see them being influenced by some of the prog metal bands of the, maybe Fate's Warning or Queensryche, early Queensryche, things like that. But I kind of noticed a little bit of like a kind of a Rush-ish, guitar line in there. Mm-hmm. Like kind of reminds me of Natural Science a little bit, So, but anyway, I'm still going Incest on this one. So that's my pick. I think all three of us had different picks on this
ones,
one.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I was reading on Wikipedia because I was looking up this Coroner album just to see the history of it, and they're actually called the Rush of Thrash. Is what Wikipedia called them. Oh well,
yeah, I think I remember hearing about that too.
Because of their changes that they do.
I could kind of see that, So we'll go to track 4. Sign of Fear by Destruction, Remember the Fallen by Sodom, and DOA by Coroner. Joseph, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, all three albums keep up the quality here on this one. Remember the Fallen's fantastic. DOA, I mean, just all the different changes in that song are so good. And then with Sign of Fear, it's just this epic, long, just kind of like heavy, like it feels it's doomy almost. Like it, they take a little bit of a break from the thrash here on this one, and it's a straight ahead kind of this
Yeah,
heavy song. And I got to go with Sign of Fear on this one from Destruction. I mean, just it's the epic of the album, and it's just such a great track.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree, man. Andy, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I'm going to go a different route here. I'm going to go with Coroner. I'm going to go with DOA. Like I was saying, I wrote in the notes that, the rush of thrash, but the vocals are like death punk thrash, dude. I like the vocals, and I know that I did not pick Coroner that many times here. That doesn't mean it wasn't a bad album. I really
No,
enjoyed
none of these albums are.
No,
Dude, these are three fucking awesome albums, man.
Yes,
It's
dude,
kind of tough
they
to
are.
pick between the three.
Yeah, and then the vocals are like death punk thrash, and it's cool. It's like 80s thrash with this great guitar solo, dude. It just sounds like no other band at that time. It was like they were combining punk and thrash and whatever else they wanted to do. It's a really a testament to the bands in Europe that they weren't hitting it big, so they were able to experiment and do whatever they want. In America, it seems like the man was already getting their hands into American thrash and was already molding it. And like Al was talking about this, if you listen to these three albums that came out in the late 80s, it's completely different from what America was getting at that time.
Exactly. Absolutely.
And it's just it's more threatening. And like I was telling Jerry, you know, and Joe's right now. Now that I read into it, that I was saying they need to break down the Big Four because it's more than just American Big Four. That shit that was going on in Sweden and Germany.
Well, but I believe they do have a big four of thrash, of like German thrash,
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
and Sodom and I think Destruction are part of that big four.
Yep.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I
Creator
can't remember.
one of them
I
too.
can't remember what the other two are, but
Creator.
it's
and
Creator
Creator.
and Tankard.
Tankard. That's it.
Okay.
I knew Creator was in there, man. I knew
Yeah.
Creator was in there. So.
Tankard is the Anthrax of German metal.
Okay.
Oh, is
Good
it?
more.
They,
But,
they,
you know,
they, they sing a lot of songs about food.
But
You think I'm joking?
no, I know you're not joking. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
So yeah,
It's
I went
funny
with
though.
DOA.
It's funny, yeah, Andy. Like when you bring up a good point. And I'll expand on that. Because we live over here in America, we have certain perspectives of what the big stuff is. But when you live in Europe or South America, whatever, those bands are probably gods to them over there. You know what I mean? I understand Metallica's huge, and they were big over there too. But like in Germany, those bands are probably revered as much as probably Slayer and Megadeth and Metallica were over here. It's all about perspective and where you live and where you're coming from.
Right.
So just like down in South America, it's probably Sepultura gods down there. Bands like that, those South American bands and stuff like that. So it's all pretty.
Again, it's timeline
It's timeline and perspective where you live,
and where yeah
you're
and
from.
where you are.
Yeah. So, but and listen, again, in the 80s and in the 70s, 80s, 90s, you didn't have the internet, so unless you knew somebody from overseas or you were ordering imports or whatever, you knew somebody that knew underground music, you didn't know about these bands at
No.
all unless you read about them or you heard by word of mouth or somebody letting you borrow an album. You know what I mean? So it's pretty funny, man. these kids nowadays, they don't know how hard it was, man. To
Yeah.
discover a lot of this stuff. So, um, I'm gonna go with my number 4. So I'm gonna go with DOA as well for my number 4. But going back to Sign of Fear, by Destruction, man, the way they mix the classical guitar into the song, you could tell that Megadeth, I think, stole that idea for Holy Wars, because it's almost the same exact thing, when they did that classical,
Yeah.
acoustic breakdown in Holy Wars and Megadeth on their Rust in Peace album in 1990. Destruction was already doing that in '87. So, maybe Dave Mustaine heard that and he was like,
I was
So
wondering what that reminded me of.
yeah, and
Because,
it's holy to me. To me, it reminds me of Holy Wars.
yeah, because they don't do it for as long as Dave does it, because it's real quick. It's
Yeah,
real
but
quick.
there's the cool classical guitar lines in there, real
Yeah.
really fast paced, and and it's just it just reminded me of Holy Wars by Megadeth, and
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, like they probably heard it and maybe got an idea from it and stuff. So, but
And
I am going with DOA on this one though.
and now you told me that on this album, Destruction is a 4-piece. Because when I was hearing this, there's so many guitar parts. I was like, dude,
Yeah,
this is a
they added
3-piece?
the fourth member was an additional guitar player.
I was
So
like, dude, this is blowing my mind.
yeah,
This is a 3-piece.
so I screwed up a little bit on
Yeah.
this
Oh no,
concept, but
no. I mean,
you know,
it's still brilliant. It's still brilliant. And even if even if this was 4 members, it's great to talk about this album.
yeah,
It deserves it.
yeah. So that's our 4th song.
Yeah.
So we're going into the 5th one. Unconscious Ruins by Destruction, Magic Dragon by Sodom, Mistress of Deception by Coroner. Joe, if you want to take it away.
Yeah. Just especially Mad Dragon here from Sodom. Just another epic track with really great thrash going on. Unconscious Ruins is a great track. And then you have Coroner kind of coming around again with Mistress of Deception here, and they're bringing in all these different elements. There's like this Middle Eastern vibe that they bring in on it, and it's just this really really cool epic track. And you have all these different things that they pull. I got to go with Mistress of Deception on this one. I pulled all my CDs out. I got
Oh, cool,
my
man. Yeah.
my Coroner CDs here, and I have the first I have the first 2 Destruction albums. It's actually they're 2 packs each. They put out an EP before and after the first 2 albums, and so these CDs have the albums with the EPs on them.
Oh, that's great, man. I love when they do that, when they reissue
Yeah,
their
so
stuff.
I think it's like these are like German, like underground German labels that printed these CDs, and
Yeah.
you can't find Release or Agony anywhere for cheap on CD or anything like
Oh, I'm
that. But
sure. Yeah,
you
a lot of
can't.
this stuff is hard to find, man.
Coroner actually just re-released all theirs not too long ago through Century Media. And like it's crazy to see a band like Coroner, and on the back it says Century Media, Sony Music, Columbia. Like
Yeah,
it's
because
they're like major label releases.
yeah.
So yeah, I got the best run I picked this last week. I talked about Punishment for Decadence last week, and then this is the one we're talking about this week, and then No More Cult. Mental Vortex from '91,
Yeah,
I think. But yeah, I got to go with Mistress of Deception for this track because
yeah.
all the different elements that they pull in on it.
Great,
Hey,
great pick, man. Again, like
Dave,
it's these. You can't go wrong between these 3 albums, these 3 songs. So go ahead, Andy.
yeah, I was going to ask, didn't Coroner just release an album
Yep,
recently?
Yeah, Corner
their first one.
since the
Yeah, their
early
first one in
90s,
like
right?
30 years. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it good?
yeah.
Have you heard it yet? I'm sure.
Oh, it's
Great.
freaking
Yeah.
fantastic.
I think it was in my top 10 of the year.
Oh, was
Yep,
it?
it was on my list too.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
and this is and this is and for me, hearing the newer album
Yeah.
kind of led me to listen to the older ones, because I never really heard the older ones, but I heard everybody ranting and raving about the new Corner album. I'm like, dude, I never really, I heard the name, from back in the day, but I never gave them a listen. So obviously I streamed the newer album first, and then
Yeah.
I was like, well, I got to check out their older album. So it's yeah, they are a great band, man. And I will
Hmm.
be picking up. I will be if I find the physical copies, and I'll order them and I'll grab them, man, because they're
Yeah,
worthy. They're very worthy to have in the collection.
at least they were pretty. When I got these like a couple years ago, these were like a regularly priced CD on Amazon, like prime shipping and everything. Like
Yeah,
these were fairly easy to find. I'm not sure if they're still like I said, these were like a 2018 pressing or something like that. So
They
yeah,
were
I
okay,
think they're still, yeah, they repressed them all. And
yeah,
then this they only have 6 albums counting the new one. So it's not like it's a huge discography or anything.
yeah,
Their first album, R.I.P., is really good. I didn't pick that one up. And then they put out an album in like '93 called Grin that is like really different. It's not thrash at all, and it's like it's really kind of like it's so different. I love it. It's a great album, but it's like so different from anything else they did.
okay,
okay.
cool. All right, man, Andy.
Yeah, like I was telling, I think I was talking about this a couple of weeks ago. I did find the Destruction EP on vinyl. It was on
Yep.
picture disc, and it was like a little bit over 30, but I hadn't really gotten into them yet. So I was like, maybe I'll wait another time, and hopefully,
It was this one, right, Andy?
yeah, it was that one. Yeah. So this one, where are we? I'm gonna go with Sodom on this one. This is the track where I texted Al and said, "Dude, these albums are blowing my mind." Because I was listening to Magic Dragon. Um, it starts off with a fast-paced rhythm. It kicks up a notch, and it keeps up that intensity for the whole 6 minutes, dude. This is a 6 minute track, and it just kicks your ass, dude. And then it ends with galloping riffs at the end of the track. It's just amazing. The last minute is just do 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 do.
Yeah,
It's and they just keep that pace perfectly, dude. The musicianship on these 3 albums is just amazing, dude.
yeah,
Just the technical work that these bands do it with, it's just kicks ass, dude. So that's my pick for that one. Is Sodom Magic Dragon.
yeah. It's funny, man, because you know, back in the day when thrash was in its infancy and it was newer, and they got a lot of people wrote it off as like, it's bullshit. But you try playing thrash music, man, and being a musician, it is like one of the most technical, styles of music that you can actually play, man. It's like, I've tried playing it. It's not easy. You know what I mean? So, um, I always considered Sodom kind of like if you're gonna, I would consider them close to Slayer as like they're stylistically of the European thrash bands. For me, I think sound wise and stuff, they would do the real, very fast paced, intense uh, thrash stuff. And I'm going with Magic Dragon on this one too. That song is just unbelievable, man. You know, um, I've pretty much picked Sodom the whole time except for DOA and the last song, but just Sodom album, just it still blows my mind all these years later, like listening to it. But you can't go wrong with any of the other 2 albums either, man. It's fucking ridiculous. It's so good. And I wanted to point out that uh, Tony Dio, Count Ralphus, and Ralph Vieira, they did want to be on this show tonight, but they had other commitments to other shows, and they were like, dude, especially Count Ralphus, who's like, dude, those are like 3 of my favorite like thrash albums, man. I wish I could be on, but I believe Count Ralphus just had surgery, so he's
Yeah, he did.
recovering
He's
from
gonna
that.
be out for about 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah,
He
so
just
he
got
was.
home this week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was telling me that, but he said he would have loved to have been on. I wanted those guys on because those guys, especially those 3 guys, they're to me they're like kind of the experts on thrash metal music. You know what I mean? And it's
yeah. It's
nice to
like they were
always,
there when these came out.
yeah.
You know.
So, I know my thrash too, but I'm just not as extensive as those guys. You know, And I looked, if I'm gonna ask somebody about thrash, it's gonna be either one of those three guys. Those guys are like the
Oh yeah.
experts, So, but anyway, I'm honored that they wanted to be on though. Like they're good friends and they're always willing to come on the show if their schedule permits it. So, but anyway, on to track 6, incriminated by destruction. Oh my God, what the hell did I write? Exhibition bout. Sorry, and Tunnel of Pain. Exhibition bout by Sodom. Tunnel of Pain by Coroner. Go ahead, Joseph.
Yeah, I mean, again, just great tracks, all three of these ones. Um, the Sodom track is a shorter one for this album, but it's just 3 minutes of just straight up thrash. And Incriminated is a great track as well. But again, I got to go with Corn on this one. Tunnel of Pain. Just such a awesome, great, heavy thrash track that just, again, they're unique in the fact that they bring in all these different kind of elements and influences that a lot of these other bands really weren't tapping into at the time. I mean,
Yeah,
by 89, you do see bands. I mean, Metallica started to go a little bit more progressive on Justice a little bit, if you want to call it that. But I mean, there was no other thrash band that sounded like this in the late
yeah,
80s. And I
yeah.
think that really, I don't know if another band would have been able to pull it off
I
like
mean,
this. And that's they,
I would. The only other band I would say would be on par as far as throwing, really getting progressive and everything would have been Voivod from Canada.
yeah, but even
They
then,
started out.
but
They
yeah,
started out as a pure thrash band, and then eventually, those progressive elements really came in to
I was gonna say, yeah,
their sound.
by
So
the time that 89 rolls around, what Nothing Face came out in
nothing
'89.
face.
So I mean,
Yeah,
like, yeah, they're really
the
moving into
prog was
like the
really.
prog. Yeah,
Yeah,
the prog was progging by '89 for Voivod. So
yeah,
yeah, I mean, Corner, while still staying this heavy, but bring in all these different elements, and I got to give it a Tunnel of Pain for this track.
yeah.
Oh, good
Good,
one.
good, great pick, man.
Yeah. And it's a great pick. It's so great. I'm going to agree. I I did have exhibition bout, but yesterday I was going through the songs again. Dude, ton of pain. The bravado vocals are perfect. The way that it comes out of the vocals just sound fucking tough, dude. I love it. And I like the I like the down in the middle psychedelic breakdown. That's what really surprised me was that change to it kind of reminded me like a psychedelic little suite there in the middle. It's like, dude, that's awesome. And then it goes back to just thrash solos, dude. And it ends just fantastically. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Tunnel of Pain on this one as well.
I'm actually going to go the other way. I'm going to go Incriminated. It's my first pick of this from Destruction.
Mhm.
I really love this track. The rawness and really stood out to me. Um, I was really like, but it. I mean, it's just again, man. Like these three albums are just so fantastic. It's like hard to pick. I know I've been heavy on the Sodom, but from here on out, it's probably, I'm kind of branching out to the other albums now because it's just so good. They don't let up, man. You know, but that Tunnel of Pain is a fantastic song, man.
Yeah.
I will agree with you guys. It's just out of this world. And again, that's what sets Corner apart, kind of. It's the whole they throw these other different elements in, and they should be revered a lot more for being different.
Yeah.
I mean, Metallica took chances and threw different shit into their music. Why not Corner? It's just kind of, I think it comes down to the vocals. Sometimes the vocals is, I guess James just had more of an appealing voice, and it's just they changed, man. They got more commercial. Let's just face it.
Well, yeah.
They
Yeah.
Well, yeah. They did.
yeah. So I mean, which is
James is a thrash singer that a guy like Mark could get into.
yeah, exactly. It's palatable. I mean, because dude, listen, man, I love. I mean, I know so many people that love Metallica, and I'm like, well, yeah. What about like this and that? And they're like, I don't know them. They don't like Metallica's about as thrash as they
That-
ever venture out. But and
I
that's
was like
like,
that.
yeah,
Mhm.
But again, Metallica, to me now, Metallica is considered kind of like um, um, the springboard, like for somebody. Sometimes people just start and stop with Metallica. They don't venture out of there. But like the gateway, I'm saying the gateway
Yeah.
where
Okay.
they
Yeah,
discovered like maybe heavier bands and things like
that
that.
was
So
what it
they can
was
be
for
a
me when I was in high school.
yeah, of course, man. Because we grew up and Metallica was huge. I mean, just like you can't escape it. But then, damn, the Coroner, man. I mean, I really want to go out and like buy their albums, man. Get all their shit. It's only 5 albums, right, Joe? Is it six,
6 if you
five,
count the new
six?
one.
The new
Yep.
one, yeah. So, all right, cool. So we're going to number 7. Our Oppression by Destruction. I'm gonna Oskbomb. Oskbomb.
Awesome.
Yeah, Osman by Sodom and Why It Hurts by Coroner. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I'm circling back around to Sodom on this one with Oxabom. This is just back to pummeling Sodom. I mean, like they started out the album, and then they get more. They kind of they evolve throughout the album, and they add some more like different kind of elements, and then they just close these last two tracks. They're just absolutely just beating you over the head. And I gotta give it to Sodom on this one. Just a fantastic track, just absolute great thrash song.
Oh yeah, when I was hearing that again, man, I was like, wow, dude. What a great song. All right, Andy.
Yeah, dude. When I first heard these albums, I thought for sure Ossabot was going to be the one because I kept on hearing that song. It was just so good. But dude, recently, Our Oppression by
I went
Destruction.
back and forth. I went back and forth.
I had to. I said, dude, this is too much. And it's the seventh track out of an 8-track album, and it's still full speed ahead on all three of these albums. You
Yeah.
don't want them to end. You really don't. You want a couple more, dude. But Our Oppression was just a great track, and I absolutely loved it. And once I got used to the vocals on Destruction, I was like, oh yeah, this is really getting to me. So Our Oppression for me.
Cool. I'm going with Why It Hurts from Coroner, man. I thought
Awesome.
I thought that was a fantastic fucking song.
Oh, it
Dude, the
is.
other
Yeah.
dude, the other two songs are great too. It's just, what am I gonna pick, man? What the hell am I gonna pick? But the Coroner one, man, just kind of stuck out to me a bit more. I just was like, dude, I'm not giving Coroner enough love. I got to throw a bit of love their way too, man, because it's just to me that song really was like, yeah. I mean, again, the 3 albums are just we're almost at the end, and it's still the quality is not let up in one bit on
Yes.
these 3 albums, man. So it's gonna be Why It Hurts for me. All right, we're on the last one, man. Survive to Die by Destruction, Baptism of Fire by Sodom, and was it Last Entertainment by
That's
Coroner.
hmm
Joseph.
This one was
Wait,
really
hold on.
hard.
We're on the
Oh,
last
yeah.
one.
We're
Oh,
on the last one.
all right.
Yeah, man. I mean, this one was really hard because each one of these tracks is amazing in its own way. Great way to. I mean, technically, this doesn't close the Sodom album, but as an original track, it does.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, Baptism of Fire is just. This is where it feels like this is like what we said in comparison to like Slayer. This feels like it could be a
Yeah.
Slayer song.
Yes, yes.
Like just absolutely brilliant. And then Corner with Last Entertainment is where you kind of hear where they're going to start to go a little bit after this album, where it brings in all this like there's this like weirdness to it. It's like cool kind of like weird like overdubbed vocals and stuff like this,
Time
and time
changes, and
changes, and it's
yeah.
like kind of moves away from thrash a little bit. And a band that definitely wears their influence on their sleeve. I'll say this: Punishment for Decadence, the album before this one, closes with a cover of Purple Haze,
Oh wow.
and the album after this one, Mental Vortex, closes with a cover of "I Want You, She's So Heavy."
Oh
So
wow, really?
that kind of tells you where they're at influence wise, and so you can hear a lot of that, especially in this song, because it's like they're bringing all this different kind of like weirdness into it, and it's so cool. And I would love to pick this song, but I really got to give it to Destruction on this one. Survive to Die. Just what a freaking way to close that album out. just so heavy, so great to close that album out. I had to give it to Survive to Die.
All right, man. Cool. All right, Andy.
Dude, Survive to Die, bar none. This song is so freaking heavy. And you know what's the best part about it? Is the end of when they're playing around with the
Glenn Miller.
right
Yep.
after an album that just fucking kicked your ass upside down.
You kind of stole my thunder on that one. I was going to mention that too.
I just love that. I just thought that was the coolest thing to end this album. But the track itself, Survive to Die, it grabbed every element of this album and bow tied it and ended it that way. So, dude, Survive to Die by Destruction.
Dude, all three tracks for me, fan-fucking-tastic. But Survive to Die, the icing on the cake was the Glenn Miller in the mood
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
When they go into I'm like, dude, this is just so it's after all this pummeling and all this stuff, they ended off with like this humorous, like, hey, we're into Glenn Miller.
Yeah, this little tap dance kind of thing. It's like,
Oh, dude, it's so awesome. Yeah, it took me by surprise too. I was like, wow, dude, what a way to end, man. You know, so my pick is Survive to Die as well. So, from my perspective, I had 2 Destruction, I had 4 Sodoms, and I had 2 Coroners on my end here. So, I lived with the Sodom one the longest, so so it might be a bit of a bias there, but I mean, all 3 to me are tied. I mean, all 3 are great, man. You know.
Sodom won the most of them, but there were 2 times that there was no winner because each song was picked by us. That was track 3 and track 9. No, I'm sorry, there wasn't even 9, but 7, 3 and 7. But
Okay.
I was Sodom and Sodom, and then Coroner, and then Sodom, and then Coroner, and then I'm sorry, Destruction. That's where Destruction only won once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
As far as somebody picked the last track here, all 3 was picked.
Yeah, it was the last track, which was a unanimous pick.
Yeah.
But dude, all these albums, thank you so much, Alex, and for bringing these albums to my attention. But I keep telling myself, I listen to so much music. I have to remember these. I have to remember to really dig into these bands because, dude, I just hope I don't forget about these bands because these albums were just so great.
Well, Andy, I would definitely recommend checking out the albums around these, like the first 2 Destruction albums here, Eternal Devastation and Infernal Overkill. I mean, you're going to be seeing them live, so I'm sure they're probably going to be playing quite a bit from these 2.
I'm sure he's gonna listen to them and kind of familiarize himself.
Yeah.
With, you know.
And then the Coroner albums around this too are just fantastic. And then Sodom, I mean, Persecution Mania that came out before this one, and then Tapping the Vein is a really good one from the '90s. M16 from the early 2000s, and hell, Sodom just put out a fantastic new album last year as well. The Arsonist, really really good album that came out last year. The new Coroner album's great. I think even Destruction put something out, I think, last year.
They're all still active, man.
Yeah, they're all still active.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there might be some member changes, but is Coroner still the same?
It's 2 of the 3 are still the same.
Okay.
It's the drummer I think is different in Coroner.
Okay.
But the vocalist / bassist is the same, and the guitars are the same. Destruction, I think it's just the singer. It's the same.
Okay.
And he plays the bass, I think. And then I think the other 3 are all newer members.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Sodom, but yeah, two of the 3 of Coroner are still the same. Like the main crux of the band is the same. It's just a different drummer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man, this is a fantastic episode, man. I'm glad.
This was great.
Glad Joe was able to come on here and we got a good discussion on these 3 great albums. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it out there. And Andy, you got any ideas for next week? Are you still pulling any?
No,
Any
I've
idea?
got an idea for next week already. It's going to
Okay.
be a vinyl battle within an album. Wow, that sounds odd, right? It's going to be the White Album, John songs against Paul songs.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, so we're gonna
Okay.
put down the White Album that way. I'll do I'll do the matchups, which are pretty easy because it's really one after another on the White Album. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna group those together, and then I'll send out the battles.
All right, cool, man. That's a good idea, man.
Hey
I,
Joe,
I'm 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 excited to hear you. What you said?
is that something you want to do next Wednesday?
Let me think. Let me look at my schedule next Wednesday. But that'd be really cool. Yeah, that'd be really fun.
Okay.
All right, so that's what we have going on here at Black Spinner next Wednesday.
All right, awesome. Well, guys, I appreciate you guys, everybody, whoever watched Jimmy James. I don't see the chat, so I don't know who was in there.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy James and Brian and a couple of others, and a lot have been coming in and out.
All right, cool. Well, thank you
Yeah.
everybody that watched, and subscribe to Andy's channel, Black Spinner Circle, man. And check out Heavy Water 77 with Joe and
And check
and
out
Jerry Soupy.
B Podcast Out for some great concert footage.
Thank you, man. Yeah, so subscribe to our channels, and we'll check you out next week. Next week will be Wednesday, 8 p.m. is our usual time.
Right.
So check us out. We'll advertise what we're gonna do online and stuff. But anyway, thanks again, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Bye, y'all.
Cheers. How the hell do I get out of here?